Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. Put your hands together today and welcome our singer of the day, Kirsty Krause.
You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful Can't you see everything that I hope for? You're everything I need. Yeah, you are so beautiful. To me.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Well, good afternoon. I'm Lucia Cooper-Smith. I'm your host for today, and it is a pleasure to welcome you to Sunday afternoon at the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. I would also like to welcome those who are watching online and welcome you to come join us anytime you care to make the drive. So we are excited today because we are welcoming back our interim minister, Reverend Cath DePalma. Reverend Cath's talk today is titled, Life is Flow. And of course, we welcome back Kirsty Krause today as our guest artist, who definitely got us started off right with the rest of the band. So if you are new here and you're wondering what we're all about, we are an inclusive, open spiritual community for anyone seeking a deeper connection with God. Our philosophy, our teaching, teaches us about our oneness with Spirit, with God, and how we can create our most magnificent lives, and it all begins with our thoughts. Our community is here to love, honor, and support you, whatever your path is. Wherever you may find yourself on your journey of faith, you are welcome here. So welcome to our center, and let's begin our service.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Let's just bring it all in. Wow. My name is David Arnholter, for those of you that don't know me, and I'm a practitioner and a board member here at CSLN Nashville. Before I start, I just want you to look around. This is your community. Look at these beautiful faces and beautiful people. Feel this energy. That's why we're here. Is for these people, to share our common beliefs, to celebrate who we truly are. Feel that. So I wanted to let you know there are a number of practices which are taught in the science of mind. And one of those is intentional manifestation. It corresponds to the spiritual principles of threefold nature, spirit, law, body, and the creative process, or the law of attraction. And one of the best methods to use for the practice of intentional manifestation are affirmations. So in Living the Science of Mind, page 339, Ernest Holmes explains the power of affirmations. He writes, "Only as much good can come to us as we mentally receive and affirm. We must increase our receptivity, continuously extend and expand our consciousness by declaring 100 times a day," he says. And by the way, the best way to use affirmations is to practice them. So today I want you to affirm each of these after me, okay? First off, take a deep breath in, hold it a moment, and release. Just get very present here. Deep breath in, hold it, and then release. Now, repeat after me with great feeling. What's important about affirmations is not just saying the words, but feeling it, getting excited about it, knowing it, okay? So repeat after me. Thank you. Good and more good is mine. Ah, that was nice. Let's do it one more time. Good and more good is mine. An ever-increasing good is mine. Excellent. There is no limit to the good which is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it. I experience it. Good crowds itself against me. Good flows through me. Good expresses itself in me. Good multiplies itself around me. Good and more good is mine. And so it is. Yay. Okay, let's take another deep breath. Let that resonate. Let that sink in. Use that today. Okay. So know with me, as I say this treatment in the first person, please make it personal for yourself. I know that there is only one power, one spirit, one love. And I am one with this power. I am one with this spirit. I am one with love. I know this fully and completely. And this power is flowing in and through me now. It heals every organ of my body, every thought in my mind, every function of my body. There is no fear. There is no doubt. There is no uncertainty in my mind. The love of Spirit expressing in and through me, it directs me, it protects me, and it guides me every step of my life. And I know that this same healing power is flowing through our beloved center and community. All is well as our community thrives and prospers. And I send loving, healing energy out to anyone in our community dealing with health or other issues. As a community, we hold them all in our love. And in a moment of silence, let's lift up everyone who has any special needs right now. And I just give thanks. I give thanks for every expression of love present in our audience today and watching this broadcast from home. I give thanks for this community, for our Science of Mind teaching, for everyone making this service possible today. and accepting love expressing as my life experience. I release my word into the universal law of mind, which always says yes, knowing it has already made all of this or something even better so. And now say with me, and so it is. Have a fantastic day.
I am a gift, no matter what age, no matter how I look, there's beauty in each stage. I am a gift, and I promise every day, when I look in the mirror, I'll say, I am a gift. I am a gift, I'm loved really well, and every year I've lived has a different tale to tell. I've made mistakes, have some regrets, but I promise I'll never forget. I am a gift. I am a gift. And there may be times when I forget the truth about me, when it seems time and youth are just marching on without me. That's when I might need you to find me, and ever so gently remind me that I am a gift, a precious child. I'm put here on this earth, but only for a while. So I'll make this vow, and I say it with love. I am perfect and whole and enough. I am a gift. I am a gift. There may be times when I forget the truth about me, when it seems time and youth are just marching on without me. That's when I might need you to find me, and ever so gently reminds me that I am a gift, a precious child. I'm put here on this earth, but only for a while. So I make this vow, and I say it with love. I am perfect and whole and enough. I am a gift. I am a
Kirsty Crass, everybody.
Thank you, thank you. All right. Wow. It is spring. I came from Canada, so it's spring. I just am enjoying the buds. It's so delightful to see all the flowering trees. But it's even it's even more delightful to see all of you. So today we're talking about life is flow. And you know, we're not just moving through life like we think that we are. We're a part of the movement of it. And whether we realize it or not, life is flowing within us and around us. And when we recognize this, we can become active participants in creation. We become flowers, kind of like flowers with flowers of life. We become flowers of energy. And when we know this, life really starts to get interesting. This is really when the game gets just more fun. I'm starting today with a story to show how powerful, it's a powerful reminder of how life always finds a way and how life flows. In August of 1945, after the atomic bomb devastated Hiroshima, a prominent physician declared that nothing would grow there for 70 years. The land was scorched, it was lifeless, it was a wasteland of despair, as you might imagine, or don't want to imagine. And yet, less than a month later, something remarkable happened. Amidst the destruction, red canna lilies, such as the ones you're seeing, and delicate wildflowers began to bloom. And I'll take that wildflower slide next. So John Hershey, who gave the classic account of Hiroshima in the New Yorker, described it like this: the bomb had not only left the underground organs of the plants intact, it stimulated them. Everywhere, bluets and Spanish bayonets, I can't say that I know all these and I didn't look it up, morning glories and daylilies. Even in a circle at the explosion's center, new plants pushed up through the asphalt. It was as if life refused to surrender. So how did this happen? What happened? Well, the reason for this to happen was the bricks of Hiroshima were made from mountain clay where the wildflowers grew. So they were baked right into the brick. And so inside the very walls of the city, seeds had been waiting. And the explosion cracked them open, and new life emerged. Out of destruction came beauty. Life always has a plan. Life is flow. Now, can you imagine how powerful seeing this unfold was to the survivors? To see that even in the face of devastation, life was still flowing. There was something greater happening underneath it all. And in Japan today, these plants are known as the survivor seeds of Hiroshima, the faith that grew out of the ashes. And recently, in more recent years, a Tokyo teacher, Riho Tachibana, raised over $22,000 US to put some of these seeds on a SpaceX rocket. They were returned to the earth and distributed to the 191 schools that were participating in this, where the children planted them as a symbol of peace. And her message was this: I wanted these seeds to send a message of hope to the children from the universe. What an idea. What a beautiful project. Life is flow. Life is strong and resilient, and so are we. Did you know that? Good. I think you can feel it today in the room. It's started off with a strong note here today. Well, let me share a moment when I really got the lesson of the power of flow by my 3-year-old at the time. I was sitting in traffic, and that was probably 27 or 24 years ago now. He's 27, with our youngest sitting in a car seat in back of me, Joseph. And he was so frustrated that we were stopped at a red light. And he kept yelling at me, "Go, go." And I'm thinking, there's a car in front of me. There's cars all around me. And I can't go anywhere. But he just kept on. And so the moment struck me, and I thought, wow, he's got something here. I've been living in the world of conditions for so long that I had forgotten that I was in the flow. I had forgotten that I was flow. He knew he was flow. And so instead of yelling at him or, resisting, it came to me to say, we're in the flow. Say this with me. We're in the flow. That'll get things moving. We're in the flow. And we just repeated it over and over. And before we knew it, the cars started moving. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, yes, the light is going to change eventually. But the shift really wasn't about that. It wasn't about them. It was about me. And this became something that we practiced, often, reminding ourselves that we must first see movement in our mind and feel it in our hearts before it appears in the world. So when we embrace flow, things start to shift. And often more quickly than they would on their own, because I can tell you this does work in traffic jams as well. Give it a shot. I am in the flow. We are in the flow. That'll get things going. Well, this month we're focusing on conscious giving, and that brings me to another story. Some of you have been around for a long time, so you know this story, but it's just one that has just always been very meaningful to me. And here's my short version of it. So there was a fisherman who lived in a small village who had a house overlooking just this beautiful water. And he would go out in his boat every day to get fish for the day for his family. And so he'd go out and he'd bring home just enough that they could use for the day. And then he would relax and the rest of the day and spend time with them, and they'd have a beautiful fish dinner at the end of the day. Now, a visiting businessman came along and approached him one day and said, you could do so much more. I can help you get more boats. You could catch more fish, and you could make more money. And the fisherman asked him, he said, well, and then what? And the businessman replied, then you could retire, relax, and enjoy life with your family. And the fisherman smiled, and he said, but I already have that. I already have that. This story isn't about, money or success. It's about appreciating what we have. This was the life of this fisherman. This is the life that he knew, and he was happy. What if we could see our own lives through that lens? What if instead of chasing for more, we recognize that the abundance is already flowing through us and all around us? I can tell you, when you don't believe that you have enough, we really don't believe that we are enough. And when we don't believe that we really are enough, it's going to always lead us to more not enoughness. Got that? It's really, there's an ebb and a flow to life. Flow isn't just about the movement, it's about trusting that there's a rhythm to life. You know, just imagine for a moment just standing on the beach and watching the waves go in and go out. The tides come in, they go out. We accept this as very normal. But when it comes to our own lives, our finances, our relationships, our opportunities, what happens? We don't connect the dots. We're a part of nature. We have to operate like nature. When our resources, seem dried up, we panic. Or when we put out, give out, pay our bills, we panic. What if we saw scarcity as just another phase of the cycle? It's just the ebb. It's just the ebb. Let's try breathing. Breathe in with me for a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's try it again. Breathe in and breathe out. We just can't inhale. Just keep trying to inhale. You're going to bust if you don't. You just can't take in. There's only so much you can take in. And then just try breathing out and just keep breathing out. You might pass out if you keep trying to do that. It's not really being in the natural rhythm of life. So the same is true for our money, for energy, for love, for our health. When we understand this, we stop resisting that ebb, that part, and we trust the flow. And when we trust the flow and learn how life works, we see that giving is a part of our receiving. You can't have one without the other. You can't have one without the other. It just doesn't work. When your life's not working, that's a clue. So let's take a moment to reflect. What if we fully embrace the idea that we are a part of life's flow? That we're a part of nature. We're bursting right now with new life. It's trying to come through us, just like it is with the trees and the flowers. What if instead of chasing abundance, we realize that it's already within us? It's already within us. I loved, Dr. Mitch, your line a couple weeks ago that your good is waiting to come through you. Your good is waiting to come through you. It's not going to come to you from somewhere else. It's going to come through you. So, and maybe, like the seeds of Hiroshima, we are being cracked open to reveal our true beauty, our goodness, right here and right now, today, in the middle of whatever's going on in the world, whatever's going on in our own lives. We're being cracked open like those seeds into our greatness. There's only more and more greatness. This is just another big round. So, we have something to practice this week. Spend a few moments doing things that uplift you, because when you do that, whatever it is that makes you happy and is not hurting anyone, it puts you in direct alignment with spirit, with source, whatever you call it. Focus on what you can contribute rather than what you can get. When we focus on what we can contribute to any situation, life takes care of the getting. We don't have to even think about it. It just automatically happens. This center's conscious giving program is the perfect way to invest in ourselves, in yourself, because you will be the one that is expanding in your consciousness of prosperity. The center will benefit, yes. The center is dependent on many different channels through which its good comes. It knows its source. But the giving is about us. It's about expanding ourselves. It's about taking a bigger place in the world. And I think that that's what we're here for, and I think that that's what many of you are ready for as well. And then trust that you are supported by this infinite flow of life. It has to support us when we do our part. We have to do our part. We have to step up. We have to step into the responsibility of doing our part. And it will take care of us, because that's the law. It's a law. And when we align with the flow of life, life cannot resist us. And it will always find a way to bring us more. It will always find a way to bring us more. So, flow. We are flow. Life is flow, we are flow. You are flow, I am flow. That's your mantra this week, on top of all of those that David gave you earlier. And join me next week as we explore how we can plant our intentions and create a thriving life. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Cath. That was wonderful. So we are currently engaged in what is known as pledge time. And pledges, it's a perfect demonstration of the law of giving and receiving. So what it is for us is a time when we can all think about what we receive from CSLN and what gifts we would like to give. So before we engage in our offertory time, which we will do, I would like to invite Meredith Green to come up to the stage to share with everyone how the law of giving and receiving has shown up in Meredith's life.
Thank you, Lucia. Hey, everybody. Okay, I want to ask, how many people believe in affirmative prayer and what we call spiritual mind treatment? Yes. How many people have sought out a practitioner to go through breakthroughs in their life? Yes. Well, I've got to say I did the very same thing. The way I came to this center was in 2008. Some of you may remember there was somebody named Madoff that made off with a lot of people's money. I was working for an ad agency that time, and my boss brought me in and said, "We're folding, we're closing, and you better not walk to unemployment, you better run." And I was like, holy moly. And about that time, I was coming to the center, and I went to meditation before a service, and I said, one of the practitioners said, "Would you like any prayer treatment?" I said, "Well, I'm out of work. My household is out of work." And somebody was in there, and I don't remember who he was, but he looked at me and he said, "This is one of the most exciting times for your life." And I thought, what? Okay. And so I continued to come, and through the great auspices of the universe, I knew in my heart that the only way I could let the universe respond was to take whatever job came available. I didn't care what it was. I didn't care how much money I was paid. I just wanted to show the universe that I'm ready to work. Because I learned that years ago from a gentleman that came over from Japan. And he had some kind of PhD or something, and he couldn't find work. And what he did was he got hired into a law office and he was assigned to make the coffee. And he said, I'm gonna make the best coffee ever. And that was his job. And he was just so excited about making the best coffee ever. And then his life started changing. So that was my attitude. And through the way things worked, a job came up through Marla, who moved on to be a minister. She was working in the office at CSLN, and I applied for the job. I didn't know how to be an office manager. I didn't know anything about it, but yeah, I'll apply, you know. And it was so funny because they hired somebody else that had more experience, and then that lady left, and then Mitch calls me, said, would you like the job? And I go, yeah. And I said, when do I come in? He said, tomorrow on Sunday. And I went, okay. And I showed up. Marla said, what are you doing here so early? I said, I'm the replacement. So anyway, I started working at the center, and it was for a lot less than what I had been making. But, you know, being unemployed, I think it was a lot more than where I was. So I did that, and things went on. I got to take classes, help out as registrar, and got to take them for little or nothing. And the classes are amazing. There's a class starting this Thursday that Mitch is teaching. He's one of the best teachers. I've got to tell you, if you're not signed up, do it. But anyway, through those classes, I learned about affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment. I learned about the 5 steps. All of that. And, you know, things were going better, but there was one blockage, a blockage I had that I had no idea that I had it because I had forgotten. And what that was, I finally realized I have to talk to a practitioner. And eventually I figured out which one. I didn't know which one to go to because I appreciate all of them. But eventually I found a practitioner to talk to. And it zeroed in, I don't remember the prayer exactly, how she treated for it, but what it made me remember was that when I was a child, we moved here from New York State, and we were making, well, we were doing pretty well up there, but my father was transferred to Tennessee. And my mother was terrified. She was like, oh God, I'm in the South, it's 1959. Education system's terrible here. We're going to put you in private school. My dad was a salesman. You know, he didn't make that much money. He wasn't a doctor or a lawyer. And so I started going to Ensworth at the age of 6. They had just founded the school the year before. And while I was at Ensworth, my mother came down with cancer. She eventually passed away, but she fought it for 4 years. And I was around a lot of rich kids. We were all the same when we were first grade, second grade, but by the time you get to 4th and 5th grade, suddenly there's disparagement about what clothing you're wearing. Do you go to a certain store in Green Hills or whatever? And I was growing like a weed, like most kids do, but we couldn't afford clothes to put me in. So after my mother died, my father had to hire, because he traveled for his business, he had to hire a housekeeper. The housekeeper would stitch my clothes, and that's what I had to wear to school. And there was a girl there that loved bullying me. She made me feel real small. And what happened through all of that, I had this hatred towards people with money. Oops. I didn't know it, but it was subconscious. I just didn't appreciate people that had money and clout. I was like, no, I don't need that, you know? So what happens? You lose your job, you're suddenly struggling, and through that practitioner treating for me, I've got to tell you, these practitioners, they go through 3+ years training, and they're knowing the highest and the best for you. They're not judging you, they're just knowing that you are the God essence that all of us are. And they're knowing the highest and best. And through that, I started making the cause. I said, I'm going to start tithing, because then the universe will respond. And so I started giving my little bit of change. It didn't matter what it was, a little bit of change. Anyway, things started turning around. I was able to retire at the age of 65. I am still an active volunteer here. I'm on the board. And because I love this place. It turned my life around. So what I'm going to say is take advantage of this. Whatever is blocking you, it's not about the church being prosperous. It's about each one of you being prosperous in your life, in all ways, okay? So if you don't have a card and if you're not pledging right now, I suggest that you do it. And I also suggest that you take Dr. Mitch's course starting this Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith. I have to admit, I got a little choked up when you were talking there, so thank you. Well, now it is time to give back to that which serves us, which, of course, is the law of giving and receiving that comes back to us tenfold. So if something has touched you today, there are many ways you can share the love with us, and we are so grateful for your offering. I'd like to ask our ushers to come forward now. Thank you, Cynthia and Mary Isla, for volunteering today. There's something new in the pews, you guys, so if you are someone who likes to put cash in the basket, we now have these envelopes so that you can actually put your name on the envelopes. So, and we appreciate it so much. So in addition to the baskets being passed, we also have a few other ways we can accept your gift. You can use a credit card in the bookstore, or you can find a document with the QR code at the desk in the lobby. And for our online viewers, please make a contribution using the link in the description on your screen. Or you can mail your check the old-fashioned way to our P.O. Box, which is on our website, and you can look that up. So if I can ask for our offertory prayer to be brought up on the screen, and ask everyone to please say with me, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you for your loving gifts.
I can do it, I can do anything. When I say what I want and I want my target, all comes back to me. I can do it, I can do anything. I release, let go, go with the flow, this is where I'm supposed to be. Today I'll say I'll get out of my way and live a life that's meant for me. Would he my claim in Spirit's name? I'll choose my destiny. I can do it, I can do anything. When I say what I want and I want my target, it all comes back to me. I can do it, I can do anything. I release, let go, go with the flow, this is where I'm supposed to be. Right here, right now, today I choose how to be all I can be. I can heal my life, let go of my strife. I embrace the mystery. I can do it, I can do anything. What I say, what I want, and I want my target, all comes back to me. I can do it, I can do anything. I release, let go, go with the flow, this is where I'm supposed to be. Can do it, right? Can do it. joining us.
Wow. Oh, thank you, thank you. That was great. Thank you to Reverend Cath. Fabulous talk today. Just to see what grew from where the site of Hiroshima was just amazing. And to Kirsty, the band, to Larry, to Mark, to Don, to Jimmy, you guys are amazing today. The music was great. Just fabulous energy here. So we have a few things on the calendar over the next few weeks, but before I get to those, I am going to ask our founding minister, Reverend Mitch Johnson, to please come up here and talk about a new class that he has starting this week, and he will share with you all of the details. So Reverend Mitch, if you would like to come up and talk about the introduction to metaphysics.
Morning. Well, if you don't attend the class, you'll be scum of Satan. There's just no better way to say it. No. Ernest Holmes said that the answer to prayer is in the one praying. The answer to prayer is in the one praying. And of course, what he means is when you believe it, following that teaching of Jesus, it is done unto you as you believe. So in this class, I'm going to teach you how to believe. Now, you don't have to do the things, but if you do them, you will learn how to believe what's in your heart and your desires to have in your life. Now, I don't make this claim lightly. I've seen it work in my own life. I've seen it work in hundreds of people's lives. And it's been my privilege to teach people these important and I think sacred things. So we're going to be talking about that in this class. And I will teach you ways to learn to believe anything is possible, as it says in the Bible as well. All things are possible to they that believe. So I'll teach you how to believe. And at the end of that class, you'll know how to believe. Thank you. Oh. Incidentally, the price is right. Love offering. What have you got to lose? Sign up.
Okay, I'm going to add to that. The class is in person here at the center on Thursday mornings at 10 a.m., or you can join by Zoom at 6:30 on Thursday nights. This class, even though it's called the Basics of Metaphysics 101, for those of you who are new to this teaching, this is a great class to introduce you, because Reverend Mitch is going to be using the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind book. Whether you're new to this teaching or you're, like me, a practitioner who's been studying it for years, I'm taking the class. On Thursday mornings, I will see you on Thursday mornings every week, because I can honestly say that in every class I've taken with Mitch, from the basic to the most advanced, there is always something new that I learn. So even if you've taken all of the classes, this class might be something that you want to look into signing up for and do it, because it will be wonderful. So now for the rest of our announcements. Before I get to the rest of the announcements, I wanted to make an announcement that Marietta Carter's mother made her transition on Friday. So please hold Etta in your prayers. And there is a celebration of life planned for Etta's mom this Tuesday, March 18th, at 1 p.m. at Woodmont Baptist Church, which is right on the corner of Woodmont and Hillsborough Pike. Now, we won't have a newsletter come out before the service, so please take note of it if you would like to go and support Etta during this service. So again, it's at Woodmont Baptist Church on the corner of Woodmont and Hillsborough Pike at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. So now for the rest of our announcements. Of course, everything that we've got booked is in the newsletter and on the website, so I'm just going to cover a few of the activities taking place over the next couple of weeks. First off, today after the service, we will complete our dialogue about our mission, our purpose, our values in the fellowship hall from 1:30 to 3:30. A light lunch will be provided. And then next Sunday after the service, we have another community dialogue that focuses on what our Sunday service will look like. As you all know, our Sunday service will continue on Sundays at noon here at Unity until September 1st. After that date, we'll no longer have our service time on Sunday mornings, and we need to decide whether we want to meet later on Sunday or on Saturday or another evening during the week here at Unity on this campus, or whether our community would prefer to continue meeting on Sunday morning, but at another location. So we will be exploring all of these options next Sunday at 1:30. In preparation for next week's community dialogue, current CSLN members will be receiving a survey via email tomorrow so that we can start getting a feel for what we all think and start putting that info together. And this will definitely be a community decision. This is not a board decision. So we really need your participation in these community dialogues and the survey to know what the community wants. So on that note, CSLN is updating our member database. It has been 5 years since we've done this, so we are long overdue to look at our database and make sure we have a current list of members. So the current members of CSLN received a copy of a member agreement by email on Friday, March 7th. If you received it and haven't completed it, please do so. When we talk about things like what will our Sunday service look like, whether we stay here at Unity or go to a different location, those decisions are made by our members. But a member agreement is so much more than just getting to vote and give your opinions on these things. So if you received it and CSLN is your spiritual home, your spiritual community, make sure to complete the membership agreement. And if you're a member and didn't receive it, please let us know. So for those of you who are not a member and you would like to become a member, we have a new member class being offered on a quarterly basis. And our next one will be Saturday, April 5th from 10:30 to noon on Zoom. The CSLN Coffee House returns on Friday, April 4th, so please plan to attend. That's at 6:30 or 6 o'clock in the evenings. AJ, 6 o'clock or 6:30? 6:30, thank you. It's at 6:30 on April 4th, so please plan to attend and you'll get to hear a lot of our talented people. And then finally, our annual meeting and election of our Board of Trustees. Members will be held on April 27th after the Sunday service. So if you are interested in serving on the board, traveling to interesting lands, meeting interesting people, then please send an email. Okay, we don't travel anywhere, so that wasn't really true. But but we are involved in a lot, so you will be very busy, we can guarantee that. Please send an email to admin@cslnashville.org and receive an application for our Board of Trustees. So there's a lot more, pardon? Or talk to Meredith, because Meredith is on the nominating committee. There's a lot more we've planned, and I've just covered the things happening in the next couple of weeks, so as I've mentioned, please look at the newsletter and the website for details about all of the happenings happening. And for the registration instructions, the Zoom links, the email addresses, and who to contact, all of that is in the newsletter. So before we close our service, we'd like to welcome our visitors. We won't ask you to stand or do anything embarrassing, but if you can just wave your hand just to let us know that you are new, we would love. We just want to make sure that we can say hello and meet you. And of course, you are invited to join us in the fellowship hall for some refreshments after the service. Thank you to Kim, who is today's hospitality volunteer. And thank you to Marla, who picked up a lot of the light lunch food for us to all enjoy. And for anyone, both new or those who have been coming for a while, if you have any questions about what we teach, or have questions about CSLN in general, or just want to talk more about today's talk, please see one of the practitioners or Reverend Cath or Reverend Mitch. I'm recruiting you into that group at the end of the service. And if you're watching online, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. I would like to ask our practitioners and our ministers to come up front. And if there is something that you're dealing with, something that you want to attract to your life related to your health, relationship, career, money, Meredith talked about our prayer practitioners. These are our practitioners. Please don't leave today without asking one of us to pray with you as soon as the service is over. Or you can fill out a prayer request form and put it in the secure box in the table outside the meditation room or in the lobby. And if you're watching online, please go to our website under practitioners and contact any one of us directly. So I am going to say a closing prayer and a closing affirmative prayer. Join with me. I will say this in the first person and ask you to make it personal to you. I invite you to take a deep breath and close your eyes and take another deep breath. And join with me in knowing that there is one power. It is God, Spirit, the source of all. It is the one creative power, and it is all good. This power flows through all things and dwells in me. Just as a wave is never separated from the ocean, I am never separate from the presence of Spirit. I am one with God, the creative power for good. My life is good. I am open, receptive, and available to the abundance, joy, and grace that is life. I am open to Spirit's impress. I am blessed with gifts and talents I share with the world. I am filled with the infinite and express the fullest, most magnificent version of me, and I receive back abundantly. Good and more good is mine. I release fears, any thoughts or feelings that are holding me back. I see the face of God in everyone and share the light of love. Today, I see, do, and think everything from that love. I am a beautiful expression of Spirit. With gratitude, I affirm that what I have spoken and even more is already done. I release these words to the law that always responds to my thoughts and words and says yes. Let go, let God, it is done. And together we say, and so it is. So let's put a little love in our hearts and stand for our closing song.
Put a little love in your heart.
You got lyrics?
You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart.
Here we go.
And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Take a good look around. And if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope that you decide kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. We just wait and see.
This program is a service of the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville.